Guys, um, I'm not sure why I think this is going to be an important video, but for some reason I think that right now, this moment, I could say something that's important. So I'm not exactly sure what it is yet, but I'm just going to roll with this because this is what I think it's about. Oh man, I'm running on battery power. I think that it's about, hold on a second. I don't know why us blondes are always doing that. But, okay, I'm trying to find the answers to life, the keys to life, like all the scientists and all the spiritualists have been searching for. And us human beings as a race of creatures have been searching for the truth of life, the answers of life, the universe, and everything. And yes, it is 42, but it's a lot more than that as well. So, to be in a human body and play the game of trying to find the key codes to, I guess, getting out of the human body at will? Or what does it mean? It means to win the game, you need to realize that you're playing a game, A, and to remember who you are, and not just the game piece, but the rest of you. But this game is complicated, so it's not just a simple answer to win. There's a lot of ways to win. For one thing, you can find your special crystal that you threw down, that somebody threw down, got caught into the gravitational pull of Earth and landed anywhere, and I had to go down in and find it. Okay, so there's that. I won this part. You know, there's different steps to the game. This was a huge, huge one. This was a huge score for me because it's really hard to get your crystal back. You have to mentally just desire it a lot. Okay, so there's, when I heard that message from the Pleiadians, or whoever that galactic group is, this phrase, "We are here for the game, the codes, and the master numbers," end quote. And that phrase, that sentence, ran through my head over and over and over again. We are here for the game, the codes, and the master numbers. Because I had this instinct that this was a game, the Matrix. I could see, one time there was a glip in the Matrix. A glitch in the Matrix. In my Matrix. Just like in the movie, but a real one. Not that stupid cat repeating. They were just trying to figure out some way to create a deja vu. But I've had real ones, and that proved to me that this is a Matrix. Because you know how you're like not sure, am I dreaming? Am I not dreaming? Is this real life? You know. So to come into the body to achieve enlightenment, or to transcend physical reality and not have it control you, where we all feel controlled by it when we get sick and we have to walk and move our body. We can't just fly like some of us know we can fly in other places. Can't do that. We have to rely on a very limited body that has lots of parts of it shut down. The DNA has been altered. It has been torn down a long time ago. So we've been living with bodies that have been slowed down in terms of our evolution because of all the body parts, but we're still going to win this game. So lately when I realize I'm playing a game, okay, how do I win? I realize I'm playing a game. I realize all this stuff. I get it, but I'm still stuck in this body and I'm not flying. Am I supposed to fly in the body, or do I have to wait till I get rid of the body to get back into my realms of where I'm normally flying? And everybody's psychically connected. It's really hard to do it in 3D, and it seems like it's impossible because this Earth is, this 3D, whatever you want to call it, this hard stuff, it's real stuff. It's not going anywhere. It's too great of a hologram. Even if it is a hologram, it's still a fantastic one. So we're not giving it up. We're not giving up 3D. If you want to be part of, so the question is, if you want to be part of the planet's structure, if you want to incarnate as a human body to experience what it means to be a part of the planet Earth and have all of her chemistry inside your own body, all the heavy metals inside our own body, you know, all of the water, the mass, all of it. So we are, you know, from a high galactic universe, multiverse, omniverse, but one particle of our consciousness, of our giant self, one particle of our giant self is in the consciousness of one human body at a time. So one piece of my consciousness is in this body, other pieces of my consciousness are in other bodies, just like a hand. It's one thing with 5 different points of consciousness. It's just like that. So say this is the Deb Director in this life, and this would be the Deb Director, or whatever my name is in other lives. I don't always have Deb Director as my name. You know, just like that. So our oversoul is the connecting point between all of our separate lives that are happening all at the same time in different realms and time-space continuums and stuff. And so this is the thing. So we're high intelligent beings, and we can accomplish a lot. And so we can play very difficult and challenging games. We don't shy away from hard stuff, because when we're creator gods, you can create, you know, if we made a structure and we were experimenting, if we built something, and we were studying it to see what it would do, just the same way human beings study rats and other animals and use animals to study science and, you know, dissect them and play with them and test their blood and test diseases on them or chemicals, or, you know, we test our world on the animals that live here, and we test, we go through a personal test when we incarnate into a human body, because we are at once the master creators and also a part of the society where we have the same limits as the rest of the planet. For example, well, we're in 3D, so if we could probably pop out of 3D, but what we did was we took away some of the activity in our brain. That's why we only use 10% of our brain. Well, I've heard 7%, I've heard 15% for geniuses, so, but still less than 20%. What is the other 80 to 90% of our brain doing? Why would we have a full-on brain if we're not using all of it? And how do they know we're not using all of it? And why aren't we using all of it? And what would happen if we did use all of it? So, little crystal asked me, get the crystal healing. You try to feel the elevations of your energy, your DNA, your chakras, just by gazing into the crystal. I'm sharing this crystal with my kinfolk and all the other soulmates I have on this planet that are from my higher oversoul. Guys, look at the crystal. So I want to be able to fly in this body. I have such a high notion that I can achieve something as crazy as that. Well, you know, the yogis can levitate, so we know that that's possible. Flying in a body, I don't know about that, because we have limitations. There are limitations here, otherwise the game wouldn't be so intense and intriguing. This is a very sunny morning, so this is great, because I knew the sun has been brighter this morning than it has been all week. Between 7:45 and like 8:20, the sun was a really bright golden yellow, blinding. And then it gets to a certain height, takes on this weird sort of bluish, glowy tinge to it, which almost darkens it, makes it more blue, and takes away some of the brightness, and is weird. And it's like it gets to a certain height, and then all of a sudden it doesn't look like normal sun. It's like it's behind a scrim or something. I don't get it. What is that? And then it doesn't go very high in the sky. Okay, so back to the reason I think I am making this video, besides the other stuff, is this. So in this lifetime, you can't just remember who you are, and you can't just know that you're playing a game and that you're living inside a matrix or a hologram. You have to realize, you've got to figure out the rules, the keys, the rules. So we got the gravity. You're made of the mother. The body is made of the substances from the earth, her soil, her waters, everything, her salts and minerals. And then we are also come from, ourselves. And then we set up to not only understand it, but to also to find the codes. Now, the game masters who design the game either know what the codes are, and we're going down to see if we can figure out what they are. They're already known, or they don't know what they are. And we're supposed to figure it out by being in a human body. And or they're back in time to redo some of the history to change something, alter the course. They came back in time to alter the course into a different probability, although all the probabilities are happening at the same time anyways. I'm not sure. Or we really are discovering something new by being in the body during this time period. And all of the galaxy and the universe will be affected by what we either learn here on Earth at this time or what we do here on Earth at this time, or both. So somehow you keep hearing that everybody's watching us, seeing what we're going to do during this time period, that we're supposed to go through some great ascension. Well, these videos, I'm able to look like I'm made of light, which is amazing, really. That I can communicate with this camera and this morning sun and make this video and make myself look like I'm made of light, which is I'm not made of light. I mean, maybe one of me is made of light, but this body's definitely not made of light. My view is different of this body than you're getting. It's interesting that I can do this and that I can flash this crystal and just make this whole light game. Look at that. And I like the way it's reflected on my skin. So, I came up with this. I feel like a clue was handed to me yesterday about how to get the codes and the master numbers. Well, one thing I know is that the codes and the master numbers are hidden in the body. They're in the body. So we are in a body. Probably that's why we're in the body, to find the codes. By embodying a body, if we can get the right consciousness, we can get the codes. We can access the codes within our body. So yesterday, I feel like I got this clue, which was that one of the codes is a sentence of words, or it's a phrase, a term. It means something, or it's just a random phrase. And then I also got that it had 4 words in it, 4 words or terms or sounds. And then I kind of started getting the sense that it wasn't just the phrase that I needed to figure out. Because at first, when I realized it was a phrase, I felt excited. I thought, I can figure out a phrase. If I know it's a phrase that I'm supposed to figure it out, then I can figure that out. It's like we came to play this game, and then we lost all of our memory of that. That's why we're here, is to play a game. All of that memory is gone. So not only are you supposed to win the game, you're supposed to play the game. But you can't even play the game because you don't realize you're playing a game. But you're still playing the game because once you're down here, you're on. I mean, you stepped into your body, you're going to do whatever is going to happen. So, it's just, you can't even hardly believe it because it's so real and crazy. It's the realest game. Beyond real. So real. Deeper than real. Realer than real. What is it they say? Reality is crazier than fiction or something? Stranger than fiction. So, I think that part of the answer of the phrase is a combination of the words and sacred geometry, or yoga moves, or, So today I was trying to figure out what were the sacred geometry moves. I'm going to assume they're sacred geometry moves because that makes sense. And right now I'm going to play with that idea and really explore it until it doesn't seem right. Right now it seems right. So I got 3 of them. I believe I got 3 of them. I think I got all 4 of them. The first one I got was the spiral. Now obviously the spiral would be part of the equation. The answers of life. The second one that I thought of was the infinity sign, or the figure 8. I think this might also be called an elliptic, but I'm not sure, because maybe the elliptic is like this, is one side of them. Maybe the elliptic is one of those, and then that's an elliptic. Maybe there are 2 elliptics and the infinity sign, I'm not sure. But I think the elliptic is part of it, and or the infinity sign. The other one is, of course, the circle or the orb. The circle is, of course, because the circle gives everything form. It gives it a shape so that a bunch of concepts and ideas become one thing. They start and they go around and rejoin, and that gives it form. So the circle is very important to the universe, obviously. Gives the universe form. Okay, and then the fourth one, I think, is parallel lines. And I'm not in love with parallel lines. I much prefer the circle, but I'm a woman and whatever. It appeals to me more. And I was like parallel lines, because they're hard, because they go on and on and on and on and on. But that's sort of like where the infinity part comes from, you know? So if you put parallel lines within a circle, see if I can do that somehow. Oops, don't lose your circle. Almost a circle. Parallel lines. You know, that's meaningful because that shows you that you can have things simultaneously happening at the same time. What bothers me about parallel lines is that they don't meet, they don't join, so they never meet, they never join, they never become something new together. It's always parallel. But, you know, I guess that's part of the key codes. It's part of the trying to understand, like, basically the impossible, you know, which is parallel lines. It goes on forever. Parallel lines go on forever. There's no end to them. You have to end them within a circle or within a combining shape, but there's still... So I don't know. I mean, maybe you always end them. I don't know. Anyways, so if I figured out the body movements to the 4 words, then at least then I just got to figure out the order of them. And then I got to figure out the phrase, the 4-word phrase. Lily thinks one of the words is... Did she say light? She said light. I think she said light, love, peace, and happiness. So she thinks light is one of the words. Light. I don't know. I'm not sure of the words yet, but I figure with my type of creative mind that, and because I am a poet, that I will get this phrase. I will figure out this phrase. I am trying to win this game. I want to win this game. I already got my crystal, so I'm way ahead of the game. And I can figure out that it's a phrase, and I can figure out that it's movements with the words. Then I can figure this out. And so my mantra, because I really want to figure this out before I die, and then share it. And if it's the key, if saying the phrase and doing the movements once or so many times can help your body heal itself and get off this planet at will. So you could be here if you want, and you don't have to be here if you don't want, because nobody wants to just do this aging body thing. I mean, that is an experience that's of value. There's no question. You know, there is huge value in going through that. So maybe we just always are going to have that. But maybe if we can figure out the code, because we're all down here figuring out a code. Not maybe all of us, but a lot of us are. Probably most of us not realizing it because we forgot we were playing a game, because they made the game as hard as possible by adding all of these things to make it harder and harder and more valuable and more valid. So, okay, so the spiral, the infinity sign, the circle, and the parallel lines. Of course, there's the 5-sided human. That's the Merkaba. But anyway, this is one of the codes, okay? There's also master numbers. So I've got to figure out the master numbers too, but this is one of the codes. This is very, very hard to figure out. Who would figure this out? Who would think of it? I'm just making it up, right? Well, maybe I'm not. Maybe it really is one of the things, or maybe it's just one of the things for me. Maybe it's what I set up for myself to figure out. Maybe it's my key code, you know, and nobody else's key code. But maybe it's other people's key code. Because if other me's or other parts of my oversoul are reincarnated on this planet, we're all down here trying to figure out the key codes and the master numbers. And maybe the rest of me has gotten enlightened right now, and we're all like suddenly waking up to this. And so let's win, guys. Let's win. Let's get all our information. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm positive. And I've been saying, I win this game. 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 I really want to win this game. I do not want to die sad and depressed and feeling unworthy and feeling like I did not finish my goals. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. So There. You want to do it with me? With my power chocolate symbol and my magic crystal? We're doing it, guys. I really want to win this game, and that's how I see life. Call me crazy. I don't even care. I know that this is my goal. What is the phrase? What are the symbols, and how do they fit together? And can you just do them privately in your own home, or do you have to do them on some big stage somewhere to win? I'm still figuring that part out. But anyways, all right. Love you guys. Thanks for listening to my wild and crazy message. And, you know, this is really an energy message, so I want to be able to put it on YouTube. And I hope I make more videos today, because this is a good day for videos with that beautiful sun and rare sunlight. Bring it to me. Bring. You know, when you slightly squint and you look at the sun, it makes the same star shapes as the same shapes as the starship Athena. Maybe the sun is Athena. Anyway, love you guys. Mwah. Big kiss. Thanks for watching.